Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Let us chant one round of japa with Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Krishna Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare Krishna Hare Ram Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram. 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, 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 Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudirayet Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavat Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय, श्रीमद् भगवद गीता as it is की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय, समवेत गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome to today's Srimad Bhagavatam for all session. Let's recite Bhagavad Gita Shloka. We are reciting from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 8. Does anyone need to go first?
Mataji, I would like to go first.
Can I go first?
Okay. Saujanya Mataji raised her hand first and then you. Okay. Go ahead, Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji. Saujanya Mataji.
Yes, ma'am. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their heart. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, Mataji. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Mataji. Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Thank you,
Yeah,
Mataji.
thank you. Okay. So, anyone else need to go first? We'll go in order. Achintade Prabhu. Achintade Prabhu, you're ready?
Trying to unmute myself. Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the humble devotees.
Please accept my humble obeisances, Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Please repeat. Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Sarvasya prabhavo
mattah sarvam pravartate
mattah sarvam pravartate
iti matva bhajante mam
iti matva bhajante mam
buddha bhava samanvitaah.
buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation: I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know me,
Know this.
know this, engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Hare Krishna. Arunita.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Bhava samanvitaah.
All spiritual and material world. Everything emanates from me. Why so you perfectly know this? Engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Yes. Hare Krishna. Isha.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaah. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Krishna Ashish.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaah. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Madhava.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaah. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise are perfectly know this, engage in my devotional service, and worship me with all their hearts.
Rasapriya. Not ready?
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam
Buddha bhava samanvitaah.
buddha bhava samanvitaah. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds.
Everything emanates from me. The 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 wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Next is Sonia Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, all glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mata sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Medha Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranams, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to the assembled devotees.
Dandavat Pranam Mataji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation.
Samanvitaha Mataji.
Samanvitaha. Translation. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Thank you.
Thank you. Medha.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. Translation.
Samanvitaha.
Samanvitaha. Translation. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts.
Narsimha Lila Chaitanya Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam, Guru Srila Prabhupada.
Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji. All glories to Srila Prabhupada.
अहं सर्वस्य प्रभवो मत्तः सर्वप्रवर्तिते इति मत्वा भजन्ते मां बुधा भाव समन्वितः. I am the source of all the spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly knows this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna. That's all.
Okay. Prajna and Saujanya Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Translation. I'm the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Saujanya Mataji.
Mataji, I already finished first.
That's right. You did first. Sorry. Okay. So, Neelambari Mataji, go ahead. Mataji still. Neelambari Mataji, you can recite the verse, Bhagavad Gita.
Hare Krishna Mataji, yes, I can read. Aham sarvasya prabhaho matta sarva matta sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajanti mam buddha bhava samanhita. Translation. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Okay, I'll also recite Bhagavad Gita 10:8. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattah sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvitaha. I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this engage in my devotional service and worship me with all their hearts. So quickly, we will uh, discuss a few points on this verse from Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's commentary. So, what did we read in the previous verse 10:7? That anyone who knows my opulences and my mystic power, he will engage in unalloyed devotional service unto me. Of this there is no doubt. Remember, that's what we memorized last week, 10:7. So, one who knows about the opulence of the Supreme Lord and his mystic power, he will engage in pure devotional service. So, this verse 10:8 is telling what is that opulence of the Supreme Lord? What is that Maha Aishwarya of that Supreme Lord? So, Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha. So, Sarvasya Prabhavaha Matta Sarvam Pravartate. So, here Prabhavaha, the word Prabhavaha is important. So, the translation is what? I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So, where did that come from? Spiritual material worlds in the verse? Aham Sarvasya Prabhavaha, it is said. It didn't say specifically spiritual material. Then how did we arrive at that understanding? It's like this. Prabhavaha can have two meanings. Prabhava means utpatti and Prabhava can mean pradurbhav. Utpatti means creation. Anything which is material has a creation, and anything that has a creation will also have annihilation. That which has a beginning will also have an ending. So utpatti means creation. Pradurbhav means manifestation. That which has no beginning, it manifests and unmanifests. So anything spiritual has no creation. It is manifested and unmanifest. So can you give me some examples of spiritual things that are manifest and unmanifest? They are not created. Quickly, so we'll save time. Examples of spiritual things. Vedas. Very good, very good. Vedas. And give me two more examples. One is Vedas. Quickly. Something that does not, that is not created. In this world, you experience in this world something which is not created. Living entities, Jivatmas, are we created? We take birth, the body takes birth, but the living entity has no death, no birth. It manifests, isn't it? The living entity manifests and again it becomes unmanifest. How it becomes manifest? In a particular material body in this world. Okay? And on one last example.
Mataji, that means soul, right?
Soul. Jivatma means soul.
Kala Mataji. Time.
Time, I'll come to that one second, Mataji. Saujanya Mataji, what were you saying?
I was saying soul, but when you said living entity, that's what you meant, soul, or that is separate?
Soul. Living entity means soul only. Yeah.
Okay.
You said soul? I didn't know. I didn't hear that.
No. After you said living entity, I said, Mataji, is it same as soul, or is soul separate?
No, same.
Okay.
Same. Okay, so Usha Mataji is saying time. Yes, time is also a Shakti of the Supreme Lord. Yes, time is also manifest and unmanifest. Yes, it's not created. Correct, Mataji. Time. Okay, so one last thing I was going to say, the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Lord also is manifest and unmanifest. He is not created. So anything which is spiritual is anadi. Adi means it has a beginning. Anadi means no beginning. Beginningless. That is anadi. So anything which is anadi has pradurbhava, and anything which is material, has utpatti. So this word prabhavaha, aham, I am, sarvasya prabhavaha, right? I am the cause of all creation and manifestation. So when creation is said, that means all material worlds and everything in the material world. And when you say manifestation, means all spiritual worlds. That's why in the translation we see, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. So it's coming from that word prabhavaha. Okay, Achintadev Prabhu.
Mataji, when you say the Supreme God is manifest and unmanifest, are you talking about when he comes to the earth?
Yes.
Because he's.
Yeah. When it comes to this earth. Yes. Because you have his manifest leelas and unmanifest leela. His leela is nitya leela, it's going on constantly. And on this earth, he comes from time to time. Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata. So he appears, manifests.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Sure. Hare Krishna. So there's some more discussion on this verse, but every day we'll do piecemeal, little. Okay. So today we highlighted on the word prabhavaha. Prabhavaha means two meanings are there: utpatti and pradurbhav, creation and manifestation. Material things have creation, spiritual things have manifestation. Now let's read Srimad Bhagavatam. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 4. We were reading about Ambarish Maharaj. Why we are reading about Ambarish Maharaj? Would someone like to say quickly why we are reading about Ambarish Maharaj? It's just so that you'll to refresh your memory. Why we are talking about Ambarish Maharaj? Rasapriya.
Because Maharaj he asked Sukadeva Goswami to tell more about Ambarish Maharaj because he wanted to know how well since there was a question, how and then
Okay.
and he
Yes.
was so excited to hear about it.
Yes. Right. Okay, so you went directly to the point. That's good. So because, but okay, so you understood what Rasapriya said, because Parikshit Maharaj had a question that how is it that Ambarish Maharaj was cursed by a Brahmin, still the curse didn't act on him, and he wanted to hear about, because Ambarish Maharaj is a great devotee, he wanted to hear about the glories of Ambarish Maharaj. So that's why we are discussing. Correct. But how did he even come to this discussion of Ambarish Maharaj? Achintadev Prabhu, were you raising your hand? I thought it was from before, so I didn't call on you. Okay,
Yes,
nobody.
Mataji.
Yeah, go ahead.
Mataji, it was before. That's why
It was before. Okay. Sonia Mataji.
Mataji, because we are studying the dynasty of Devaswat Manu.
Correct.
And so in that dynasty, his son Nabag and his
Correct.
son Nabhaga and his son Ambarish Maharaj happened.
Very good. Thank you, Mataji. Yes. So ninth canto, we are talking about the sons of Vaivasvata Manu. He has 10 sons, descendants, not just the sons, then their descendants, the whole dynasty. So in that, in the previous chapter, third chapter, we read about Vaivasvata Manu's son Sharyati and then his daughter Sukanya. Now in the fourth chapter, we are reading about Vaivasvata Manu's son Nabhaga, and then Nabhaga's son is Nabhaga. Nabhaga's son is Ambarish Maharaj. Very good. Now about Ambarish Maharaj, what did we read? We read 3 verses about Ambarish Maharaj. What was the first thing that we read about Ambarish Maharaj? Anyone remembers? If you don't remember, I'll just tell you so to save time. What we read was that even though Ambarish Maharaj had such a rare position, he was the ruler of the 7 islands, which is a very rare position. And he had such opulence, but still he had no attachment for it. He had no attraction for it. Why? Because he saw it all as material. What's wrong with things which are material? Just now we read. Aham sarvasya prabhavaha. Prabhavaha means what? Utpatti, creation. Material things have a creation and annihilation. That which has a beginning will have an end. And everything, even if it is as big as the whole Bhumandala, still it is material after all. Yes, you may have a long life, maybe even up to the lifespan as long as Lord Brahma, but ultimately it is finished. It's not going to be with you forever. So, Ambarish Maharaj, he had no attraction for this. And he thought, like a dream, who is that wise person who will become attached to his possessions in the dream? Dream is supposed to end, and all the wonderful things you get in the dream, all those things are going to be taken away from you. So an intelligent person will not become attached to the opulences in the dream. So to Ambarish Maharaj, even such a big kingdom as the whole Bhumandala was very insignificant. He didn't have any attraction for that. Okay. And if somebody wants to overcome material miseries, no, not that. Then there is a contrast given. This is a devotee, because Ambarish Maharaj is a devotee. He could see that this is material. What is the position of a non-devotee? When he has such opulences, what happens to him? A non-devotee, when he has such opulence, what is the result? Is it good for a non-devotee to have such material opulence? No. Why, Sapriya?
Because you become attached to them.
What will happen because of that attachment? He will become more and more entangled in the mode of ignorance. He will be bound tighter and tighter in the mode of ignorance. So therefore, someone like Ambarish Maharaj, who has no interest whatsoever in any type of material opulence, for him, even if you give all the material opulence, no problem. But one who is not yet in that position, for him to have material opulence is a danger, because that will tighten his bond, his bondage. Bondage in the mode of ignorance. So then next, we also read that what was Ambarish Maharaj's, okay, he didn't care for these things. What did he care for? He didn't care for these things, but what did he care for? He was a great devotee of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And also, he was a great devotee of the devotees of the Lord. Because of this type of devotion to Krishna, and there it is said to Vasudev, means to Krishna and to the devotees of Krishna, because of having great devotion to them, he even considered, what to speak of his kingdom of Bhumandala, the entire universe, to be like a small pebble or something, worthless. Then most important, what were his practices? What were his practices? He engaged all his senses in the service of the Lord. Okay. How did he engage his eyes? In seeing the deity form of the Lord. His hands cleaning the temple. His nose smelling tulsi offered to the lotus feet of the Lord. His tongue tasting Krishna prasadam. His sense of touch by touching the devotees of the Lord. His legs by walking to the temple, or to holy places like Mathura, Vrindavan, Mayapur, Jagannath Puri, like that. And his mind, how did he engage his mind? Always meditating on the lotus feet of the Lord. And his desires in fulfilling, his desires were dovetailed in serving Krishna. And anyone who wants to become free from material miseries, what should he do? He should follow in the footsteps of Ambarish Maharaj. That's what we read yesterday. Now we will continue. Who's supposed to begin today?
Mataji, I read last.
So Inba read and you read.
Yes,
Jaishi
Mataji.
Mataji is there? Mataji is there?
No, Mataji.
Prabhuji is there?
No, Mataji.
Okay, so Isha. Evam sada karma kalapamaatmana paredhi yagye bhagavatya dhokshaje sarvatma bhavam vidadhan mahimimam tannishta viprabhita shashasaha. Isha, translation.
In performing his prescribed duties as a king, Maharaj Ambarish always offered the results of his royal activity to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. He certainly took advice from Brahmanas, who were faithful devotees of the Lord, and thus he ruled the planet Earth without difficulty.
Another interesting point here. He is carrying out his prescribed duties as a king. Maharaj Ambarish, in the purport, Srila Prabhupada said yesterday's purport, quoting 7.1, Maya Sakta Manah Partha. Maya Sakta Manah Partha shloka is talking about a bhakta in Asakti stage. Ananya Bhakta, that too in spontaneous devotional service stage. So if Maharaj Ambarish is in spontaneous devotional service doing Ananya Bhakti, why does he have to follow any prescribed duties of a king? Okay, tell me why? Why does Ambarish Maharaj have to follow the prescribed duties? He's already a pure devotee. Why Ambarish Maharaj has to follow? Achintya Prabhu.
Mataji, set an example for others to follow.
Correct. To set an example for others to follow. Because majority of the people in the society, nobody is pure devotee, isn't it? But we all, that's the goal. We want to become pure devotees. And we are here so to teach us how to aspire to become a pure devotees, then what type of duties you should be doing here while trying to cultivate. So to set an example for us, someone who's on that platform, Uttamadhikari platform, comes down to a lower platform, or at least appears like he's acting right on that platform. Even doing his duties, like worldly duties as a Kshatriya, actually pure devotee, he has no duties to do. But still they do it to set example. So now when he's doing his duties, just see how diligently he's doing. Because he's setting an example. If he does not do it diligently, then how will we do diligently? We will take his example. In performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaj Ambarish always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, who is the enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. This is also important. So, the work that you do, you have to offer it to the Supreme Lord. Pure devotee doesn't have to offer because he's 24/7 on pure devotional service platform. There's no need. Why we have to offer? Okay, now it's already understood that Ambarish Maharaj is doing because he has to set an example for us. So in order to set, so what is that example for us? We have to offer our work. Why should we offer our work to Krishna? Please tell me. What is the reason that we should offer our work to Krishna? And here, what type of work are we talking? As a Kshatriya, Kshatriya's duties that he's doing, that work, the results of that duty he's offering to Krishna. Why? Prabhuji.
Mataji, nothing belongs to us. Everything is Krishna's. So that way, whatever benefits we are getting, we are returning it back to Krishna.
Yeah, I'm looking for specific answers. It's not wrong, what you said is not wrong, but in terms of why we need to do it, you're right that everything belongs to Krishna, but why do I need to make the offering? Shamataji.
Hare Krishna. One reason I was thinking is because um, anything we offer to the Lord, then we do not have any karma from it. We, like everything is, we are giving it to God. We don't keep anything for us. Yeah.
Correct. That's the answer. Because if we don't offer to Krishna, we get a reaction for that. Every work, whether positive or negative karmic reaction, you will get. But if you offer it to Krishna, it becomes, that karmic reaction becomes nullified. And if you get a karmic reaction, that binds you to this world. We are in the process of becoming pure devotees. We want to become pure devotees, but right now we are still doing karma. Kshatriya duty, Brahmana duty, all this is karma. So when we do karma, the nature of karma is it will give you reaction. And reaction means bondage. Again, you have to come back to this world, take another body to get that reaction. But if you offer that karma to the Lord, no reaction. Because you offered it to the Lord. So there's no reaction. Now, that's why I said Ambarish Maharaj. Ambarish Maharaj didn't need to offer anything. But to set example for us, he's offering. Why? There's one more point here actually. There's one more point. That point is correct. Saujanya Mataji, you raised your hand. Do you want to add any point to that?
Yes, Mataji. See, Krishna is the giver, and if we don't offer, then we are enjoying for ourselves, and that means we are forgetting the giver. That's why you have to offer it.
Yeah, it is similar to what Achintadev Prabhu said. Everything belongs to Krishna, so you have to offer it to Krishna. And you added another point that without offering to Krishna, if you enjoy, then you're becoming a thief, basically. That's also correct. Yeah, yagyarthat karmanonyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha tadartham karma kaunteya mukta sangha samachara. This is what I said. Unless you do it as yagya, what you said is, if you don't offer it in yagya, then you become a thief. Yes. Sahayagya purovacha. What is that word? Verse. Sahayagya. Sahayagya.
Sahayagya Prajasya Purvacha Prajapati Anena Prasavasya Prasavasya.
Ishtan bhogan wo deva dasyante yagya bhavitaha tairdattan apradayabhyo yo bhunte stena eva saha. Second, the next one. That one tells us, Bhagavad Gita 3:12, that if you don't offer it after taking all the results, if you don't offer it back to the, so that is actually an indirect way, you offer it to the demigods. But the idea is, after you take, you have to offer it. If you don't offer it, then you become a thief. So that's what Mataji is saying. That's good. But more importantly, here the point is, in Bhagavatam we read the result of doing your karma perfectly. What is the desired result of doing your karma perfectly? Bhakti. So if you actually did your duty of Kshatriya, Brahmana, Vaishya properly, and that also, what do you mean by proper? That means by your duty, by your work, the Lord has to be satisfied. When you do your work like that, and if the Lord is satisfied, then that result of that is, you will develop a taste for Vasudeva Katharuchi. You'll get Vasudeva Katharuchi. You will develop a taste for direct devotional service. Doing your work and offering to Krishna is not direct devotional service. But by doing work and offering it to the Lord, or doing your work for the pleasure of the Lord, you will develop a taste for direct devotional service. Shravanam. You will develop an interest to hear about the Lord. And Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Archanam, all this is direct devotional service. So by doing this, so we do both side by side. Because we don't have full Shraddha, still we are doing work. And while working, the extent to which we have Shraddha, to that extent we have to engage in direct devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, we have to keep cultivating. So anyway, let's go back to Ambarish Maharaj, how he is doing his duties. In performing his prescribed duties as king, Maharaj Ambarish always offered the results of his royal activities to the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna, who is the enjoyer of everything and is beyond the perception of material senses. He certainly took advice from Brahmanas who were faithful devotees of the Lord, and thus he ruled the planet Earth without difficulty. So he's setting the perfect example. A Kshatriya must always rule under the guidance of Brahmanas. And what type of Brahmanas? Those Brahmanas who are faithful devotees of the Lord. This morning or last night, we were reading Chaitanya Charitamrita. There we were reading about this section where some atheistic Smarta Brahmana, he heard Mahaprabhu chanting Gopi Gopi, and then hearing this, he suggested to Mahaprabhu, why you're chanting names of Gopi, you should chant names of Krishna because that will give you some punya, piety. Mahaprabhu got upset, took a stick and ran after that. And that person went and told another, whole group of other students how Nimai Pandit, he chased after me. Next time he comes, we are going to beat him up. And they started talking about him here and there, making fun of Mahaprabhu, criticizing him. Is this the type of Brahmana whose advice one should take, Kshatriya should take? No, not just Brahmana. Simply Brahmana is not sufficient. A devotee of the Lord. Brahmana who is a devotee of the Lord. So you see here, Ambarish Maharaj, he ruled, he took advice from Brahmanas who were faithful devotees of the Lord. And thus he ruled the planet. So like a perfect Kshatriya, he did his duties. Purport, Krishna Shish. You're not ready? Krishna Shish is reading.
People are very much anxious to live in peace and prosperity in this material.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita.
As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5.29. Bhoktaram yagya tapasam sarvaloka maheshwaram suhritam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam shantam richati. People are very much anxious to live in peace and prosperity in this material world. And here in Bhagavad Gita, the peace formula is given personally by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone should understand that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the ultimate proprietor of all the planets and is therefore the enjoyer of all activities, political, social, cultural, religious, economic, and so on. The Lord has given perfect advice in Bhagavad Gita, and Ambarish Maharaj, as the ideal executive head, ruled the entire world as a Vaishnava, taking advice from Vaishnava Brahmanas. The Shastras enjoin that even though a Brahmana may be well versed in the occupational Brahmanical duties and may be very learned in Vedic knowledge, he cannot give advice as a guru until he is a Vaishnava.
Yes, simply being a Brahmana is not sufficient to be a guru. You Brahmana, yes, you're learned in Vedic knowledge, but you have to be a Vaishnava. Then you can guide. Next, Madhava, Shat Karma Nipuno Vipro.
Shat Karma Nipuno Vipro, Mantra Visa Radha, Avaisnava Purnasyat, Vaisnavasa, Daso, Therefore, I communicate to you by the words Dharmasta, Rad and the words, the words of Brahmanas, or pure words of God. Further, Brahmanas, who are merely learned scholars, are especially for the religious societies, are not confident to their place.
Yes. So Shat Karma Nipuna. So Vipra is one who is expert in Shat Karmas, right? That is, what are the shat karmas, 6 karmas for Brahmana? Pathan, Pathan, Yajan, Yajan, Dana, Pratigraha. So one who is expert in these 6 is called a Vipra. Mantra, Tantra, Visharada is very expert in uh, chanting mantras and in tantras. Avaishnavo gurur nasyad Vaishnavah Shvapcho Guruhu. But if he is Avaishnava, he is expert in chanting mantras, he is expert in the 6 karmas of a Brahmana, but he is not a Vaishnava. Then what is the injunction of the Vedas? Never accept such a person as a guru. He may be very expert in 6 karmas, he may be expert in chanting mantras, but if he is not a Vaishnava, never accept him as a guru. Vaishnava swapacho guruhu. But somebody is not a Brahmana. He is a dog eater, swapacha. Swapacha means who cooks dog meat and eats. You accept him as your guru if he is a Vaishnava. That's how important it is that the guru has to be a Vaishnava. Simply being a Brahmana is not sufficient. You have to be, and if you are a Vaishnava, even if you are a dog eater, still you become qualified to be a guru. Next. So, Ambarish Maharaj would take advice from such Brahmanas who are actually Vaishnavas, not just Smarta Brahmanas. Next, Rasapriya in modern times.
In modern times, there are legislative assemblies whose members are authorized to make laws for the welfare of the state. But according to this description of the kingdom of Maharaj Ambarish, the country or the world should be ruled by a chief executive, whose advisors are all devotee Brahmanas. Such advisors are members of the legislative assembly should not be professional devotees. Nor should they be selected by the ignorant public. Rather, they should be appointed by the king. When the king is the executive head of the state is a devotee, and he follows the instructions of devotee brahmanas and rule in the country, everyone will be peaceful and prosperous. When the king and his advisors are perfect devotees, nothing can be wrong in their state. All the citizens should become devotees of the Lord, and then their good character will automatically show.
Yeah. So, Srila Prabhupada is comparing with this situation, like the ideal situation, as Maharaj Ambarish being the ruler, he is the executive head, and his advisors are all Vaishnava Brahmanas. That's the ideal situation. Then the whole country will be peaceful and prosperous. But the present modern day government has an executive head, maybe a president, and he has advisors, the legislative assembly. So first of all, the executive head has to be a Kshatriya. And he is guided by Vaishnava Brahmanas. Now, do we have that in the legislative assemblies? And also, these advisors are selected by who? Selected by the king. Yes? So, advisors are devotees, and the advisors are not professional politicians. They're all Brahmanas, they're all sages, Brahmanas. And they are not selected by the general people. They don't have the intelligence. They are not trained. Also, we were reading this morning or yesterday, Chaitanya Charitamrita, we were reading that only the Brahmanas are allowed to study the Vedas. The Kshatriyas are taught that much which is required for ruling. Vaishyas, little bit for business, that's all. But studying the Vedas properly, only the Brahmanas. So, the general people, do they have knowledge of the Vedas? Have they studied that they will come and they will vote who will be the legislative assembly or who will be the king? What qualification do they have? What knowledge do they have to select who's right and who's not? And if such people choose a leader or the group of advisors for the leader, what type of government is such government going to be, and what good can come from such government? So, yeah, when the king, the executive head of the state, is a devotee and he follows the instructions of devotee brahmanas, then there will be peace and prosperity. Yeah, so everyone has to, bottom line is, they have to be devotees. Only then it will be good. Then nothing can go wrong in the state. All the citizens should become devotees of the Lord. And then their good character will automatically follow. Okay. So after Rasapriya, Mataji, 1 second, I'll come to your question, Priyanka Mataji. Let me just finish this purport. So in Rasapriya read, then who's next? Sonia Mataji, please.
Mataji, that sloka, can you recite for me?
यस्यास्ति भक्तिर्भगवत्य किञ्चन सर्वैर्गुणैस्तत्र समासते सुरा हरावभक्तस्य कुतो महद्गुणा मनोरथेनासति धावतो बहिः.
One who has unflinching devotion for the personality of Godhead has all the good qualities of the demigods. But one who is not a devotee of Lord has only material qualifications that are of little value. This is because he is hovering on the mental plane and is certain to be attracted by the glaring material energy. Bhagavatam 5, 18, 21. Citizens, 5, 18, 12. Citizens under the guidance of Krishna conscious king will become devotee, and then there will be no need to enact new laws every day to reform the way of life in the state. If the citizens are trained to become devotees, they will automatically become peaceful and honest. And if they are guided by the devoted king, advised by devotees, the state will not be in the material world but in the spiritual world. All the states of the world should therefore follow the ideal of the rule or administration of Maharaja Amrisha as described here.
Yes, thank you, Mataji. So the point is, if one is a devotee, then he will have all the good qualities of the demigods. What are the characteristic features of pure devotional service? Kleshagni Shubhada. Shubhada means, again in Shubhada there are 4 subheadings. So one of them is you get all the good qualities of the demigods. That means if you are a devotee without externally, extraneously trying, you will get all the good qualities. But if you are not a devotee, you cannot have any good qualities. Even if you have some qualities, they're only material qualities, they're not auspicious. So someone who has so many degrees, or who is very materially smart and intelligent in solving problems, you make such a person a leader. Is that going to benefit the whole the citizens? No, it's not. But if the king is a devotee, he will train all the citizens to also become devotees, When everyone is a devotee, everyone will get all good qualities. They will become honest naturally, like Ramaraja. Every other, you don't have any fear of thieves, burglars, no crime, because everyone is a devotee. That is only possible when the king is a devotee, and his advisors are all devotees. And the leaders are devotees, the followers, it's easy for the followers to become devotees. Okay, so now Priyanka Mataji had a question. Priyanka Haripriya Mataji had a question that how is it possible that a Vaishnava can be a dog eater? So here Mataji, if you consider that someone who used to eat dog meat before but now he is not, still you should accept him as a guru, then what's the great thing there? If he's not eating now, so here the point is the importance of being a devotee is being highlighted. Being a Vaishnava is so important that even if someone has the most abominable quality, still his being a Vaishnava stands out. And even if someone has all the best qualities, that's why Shat Karmo Nipuno Vipra, Mantra Tantra Visharada is said. Why? He has all, like in a society, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmana is the leader, isn't he? And Brahmana has these Shat Karmas he does, and he's expert in chanting mantras. That means he has the best qualities possible from a material standpoint, but he's not a Vaishnava. What is the value of all his good qualities if he's not a Vaishnava? And someone is the lowest from material standard, a Chandala, dog eater, but he's a Vaishnava. So here the point that is being brought out is how important is it for the Guru to be a Vaishnava? Now, coming to on this, there was a lot of discussion done on this point, because some try to explain it that he was born in a dog eater's family, but now he became a Vaishnava, he gave up. So still you should accept him as a guru, even though he's born in a dog eater's family. What is so great in that? If he has given it up, we know the body is also changing. If he has given up all that now, and if he is, living a pure life, how is that bringing out that quality? That if you are a Vaishnava, even the worst quality does not matter. The important thing is you're being a Vaishnava. How is that quality being highlighted? That's
But
what.
Mataji, just now we read that being a Vaishnava, one gets all the good qualities.
Yes.
So, and also not a normal Vaishnava, like we're considering him to be as a guru. So, how to understand this?
So it is possible, sometimes it can be possible that you have these are rare cases, extreme cases, but like you say, I'm just giving this as an example, not the same point, but in apichet suduracharo bhajate mamananya bhag sadhureva samantavya samyak vyavasito hi saha क्षिप्रम भवति धर्मात्मा शश्वत शांतिम निगच्छति kaunteya pratijayani name bhakta pranashati. In those two verses, elaborate commentaries are given by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Srila Jiva Goswami. So there also it is said, there the point that was made was, it's an extreme case, that there may be some person like this, right? Extreme case, like he's somewhere, maybe in some jungle or somewhere, some tribal. He never came, he doesn't know the scripture at all. He doesn't know that this is wrong, right? Having sex with a guru's wife, is bad. He doesn't know. Something like that. You may say, how is it possible? That's why it's an extreme. Like imagine. The whole purpose here is, again, to bring out the importance. Same point
Importance
there
of
also.
importance of
The importance of being a Vaishnava. To highlight that, they take the rarest, maybe like one in a zillion. Maybe there is some case like that, but we are taking that case. Why? To show how important is it to be a Vaishnava. So that does not mean that it is encouraging. Yes, yes, now you eat meat and you also practice, you be a Vaishnava and then you will become a guru. We shouldn't take like that. Even for some reason, whatever reason, he happened to be born in a, let's say, meat eater's family, Chandala's family, dog eater's family, and he's still cooking swapacha. Pacha means is cooking. He's cooking dog meat. Why? He doesn't know anything better, right? Let's say he's like a hunter somewhere in the jungle, but he's a Vaishnava. How he is a Vaishnava? He can be a Vaishnava from previous life and he's continuing, right? The samskaras are there in the heart, but he doesn't know. He didn't hear Shastra, or he didn't whatever. Even if such a case existed, if he is a Vaishnava and if he's eating dog meat also, you overlook that eating dog meat thing. Because he's a Vaishnava, he is more qualified to be your guru than that Brahmana who doesn't even eat onion or garlic, what to speak of eating dog meat. And he takes 3 times a bath and all that, but he's not a Vaishnava. Like we were reading in Chaitanya Charitamrita. He's an atheistic Brahmana. That Brahmana is not fit to be your guru. But this Swapacha, dog eater, he is fit to be your guru because he is a Vaishnava. That great Brahmana is not fit to be your guru because he is not a Vaishnava. So the highlight is, of course, coming back to your point, you won't find. Generally, we won't find. Because knowingly, Vaishnava is above even Brahmana. Right? So Brahmana will know Shastra. So Vaishnava will also. It's understood if you are a Vaishnava means you've already taken bath in all the rivers, you've already studied all the Vedas, you know all the scriptures. That's when you become a Vaishnava. It is understood. And a Vaishnava, why he will knowingly commit sinful activity? He won't commit. But let's say there is some rare case like that, even if it is there, you got the point, Mataji? Priyanka Haripriya Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah. Yes, I got the point. Thank you, Mataji.
Sure. Aditi Lata Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So, can we give this example also, like Uttama Adhikari? Sometimes they even go to places which is not appropriate just to make devotees, like going to a bar. But somewhere we read the example that he's going just by seeing, oh, he's going to the bar. We cannot say like that. Whereas if we see someone going, we also have to see if he's a Uttama Adhikari, he's actually not going to drink himself. He's actually mixing with the people so they can get his association and make them peer devotees. Like in Chaitanya Charitamrita, we saw Nityananda Prabhu. He is called Avaduta. He also ate meat to associates with different people, but also
he ate meat. You said Nityananda Prabhu ate meat.
That's what Advaita Acharya, he used to always say, eat meat.
Not eat meat. He said that you eat from all types of people. We don't know what is your caste. Your caste is lost by eating your rice. I'm losing my caste like that. No. Nityananda Prabhu never eats meat.
Okay, but you got my point. Of course, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead too. But
I mean, whatever you said is correct, but I'm not getting the connection of what we are discussing here and how you're bringing that point, and I'm not able to connect the two.
Because as we are saying, like dog eater, there might be, as we know that in North Korea they eat dog. That's a common practice there. So there, if someone is,
Mataji, here the point is not about dog eating. The point is about being a Vaishnava.
Yeah, so I'm saying that if someone is practicing devotional service and he or she is a Vaishnava and going back to their family member, or like also associating with them temporarily.
No. We cannot take that example. No.
Okay.
Not like that. Not like that. This is a case where this person has no association whatsoever. He doesn't even know that food other than dogs can be eaten. All he knows is just dog eating, because generally they are outcasts. Chandalas, they have their separate community somewhere. They don't even mingle with general public. So this is a very rare case. So such dog eaters, if he is a Vaishnava, then he's great. Now we cannot bring that in and say, yes, now I have taken to Krishna consciousness, but I'm from that family, so I go back to my family, and while I'm there, uh, I don't eat, but but I'm still a devotee. Uh, yes, he is still a devotee, but why is he going back to the family?
To make them devotees. He's giving his association. But just to make
If he's giving his association to them, why he's allowing them to eat meat, dog meat now?
they to bring them from the lower level, slowly only he can bring them up, right?
No. He'll bring them by bringing them to him. He will call them to where he is, come and here you eat prasadam. Not that he'll go to their house where they're eating dog meat and then, he's they're slowly bringing back to his danger. They shouldn't go. I think we all have that experience, don't we? Like when we are in devotees, wherever we have association, we are nicely practicing. For some days, we go to our relatives and home, and then all that time we are like, oh my God, when will I get back? Because it's their domain. You go into their domain, and then you expect that you will bring them here, and that too, you have just come to Krishna consciousness. Danger. Yeah, Uttam Adhikari, you're saying Uttam Adhikari will not even go there. I mean, we see that also. Like after several years of one devotee becoming serious, becomes a brahmachari and like that. And then gradually his parents, they will also start coming and all that. That happens, yeah. But yeah. Here the point is about Guru mainly. So Guru, you should accept only Guru, that person who's a Vaishnava. If he's not a Vaishnava, don't accept him. However great he is, however qualified he is. Sometimes in choosing gurus also, people look for material qualifications, right? That's not required. What is required is whether he's a Vaishnava or not. And of course, again, there are criteria, you know, uh, how much love he has, prema he has for the Lord, and what is his Ishta form that is worshipping, right? So, if you accept a guru who's worshipping Lord Ramchandra and your Ishtadev is Krishna, it won't work well. You must choose that guru who's also worshipping the same deity in which your heart is, like that. And also, you'll choose that guru who has more love, and also not only love, uh, compassion. Sometimes one particular guru has very compassionate heart, right? So you choose such a guru like that. So these are the criteria in selecting a guru, but ultimately all these are telling us about him being a Vaishnava. That is the criterion. So that's the discussion here. When you choose a guru, you have to choose a Vaishnava.
Yes, Mataji, sorry. But Mataji, in Leela, Prabhupada's Leelamrita, not so there was one Shamsundar Prabhu said this, that there was one Babaji who used to be a devotee in Vrindavan, who used to be a devotee of Krishna, and he used to always take the name of Govinda, Govinda, and then he used to also drink, take bidi, smoke bidi. And then, but Prabhupada also went to his, in one pastime we were listening there, he was saying that Prabhupada also went there with his disciples, all Western bodied disciples there, and they had a nice prasadam and everything, with him. And then after eating, as usual, he wanted to have bidi, and then he said the Govinda, Govinda, and everyone started laughing.
So he went away. He wanted to stand behind the door, but instead he standing in front of the door, and he started talking, and then he realized everyone started laughing. Then he realized they were laughing at him. Then he quickly snuffled out his cigarette and said, Govinda, Govinda.
So my point is, Prabhupada knew, but he also knew that he is a devotee. I mean, those cases, like, they're also a pure devotee, but there are some things which they still continued. Probably that is another way. But I don't know whether he was a guru or not, but just saying.
Yes, Mataji. Of course, Srila Prabhupada is a Mahabhagavat. He can see. How can we see, right? But also somebody is living, he's a Brajbasi living in Braj. And, but, you know, for us, that's why recommendation is don't associate too closely with Brajbasis, don't spend too much time, because then we end up committing offenses, right? Because we cannot understand their behavior, or we try to imitate them and we end up committing offenses like that. So, yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
I don't know what to say, because that's I don't have that I cannot speak anything on that.
Yes, Mataji.
Usha Mataji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Sorry, Mataji, I think it's late, but I will be very quick. I was just thinking of this example, Mataji, in where Prabhupada says, I think it's Rupa Goswami says in Nectar of Instructions in the first one, where who is Goswamis, who controls their senses and their mind. But when we see other people, like they can learn anything, they can be devoted, but they probably cannot control their senses and mind to complete as when we compare in a situation like this. So I just thought of it, Mataji. So I
Very
was
nice.
thinking to give it this.
Thank you. Very appropriate. Who can be a guru? Yeah, Vacho Vegam, Manasa Krodha Vegam, Udaro Pasta Vegam, Etan Vegan, Yo Vishayeta Diraha. Like he can make disciples all over the world. That person who has controlled the urges of the tongue, the belly, the genitals, of the mind, like that. So such a person only can be a guru. So kind of, connecting with, so Mataji already said that, I don't know if he's a guru or not, maybe he's not a guru, but to be a guru, it's not an ordinary thing. Yeah, thank you very much, Vishnu Mataji. Okay, next. And who will be able to control, that's also important. That person will be able to control who is a devotee of the Lord. Okay, next. So we'll stop Srimad Bhagavatam reading. It's 5:35. Let's see if it is a short one. Bhagavad Gita purport. Yesterday we read, Krishna said, this Bhagavad Gita should be spoken. Anyone who speaks this Bhagavad Gita to the devotees For him, going back home, back to Godhead is guaranteed. Pure devotional service is guaranteed, and coming back to me is guaranteed. Krishna said that. Anyone who teaches Bhagavad Gita to devotees. So next, 1869. Please repeat. No purport also. Nacha tasman manusyeshu kaschin me priyakrit tamaha bhavita na cha me tasmad anyah priyataro bhuvi. There is no servant in this world more dear to me than he, nor will there ever be one more dear. Which devotee? That devotee who gives this most confidential knowledge. What is that most confidential knowledge? Surrender to Krishna. Or who teaches this Bhagavad Gita's most confidential instruction, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. There's no devotee who's more dear to Krishna than he who teaches this message of surrender to Krishna. This message he teaches to the devotees. There's no one more dear than this devotee, and nor will there ever be anyone who will be more dear than this devotee. Now just think about how dear Srila Prabhupada is to Krishna. He didn't give to just, he's still giving, isn't it? Although externally we are not physically seeing Srila Prabhupada talking, but he's still talking through his lectures, through his books, through his devotees, every day in Guru Puja, right? In all temples, he's still there guiding. So, how dear is Srila Prabhupada to Krishna? So, on that note, we'll read about Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrita. So, Prabhupada is here in Bombay, ready now to go on the Jaladuta. So, meanwhile, while he's waiting, he's staying in the quarters, the Skindia shipping company's employee quarters, and he became so popular. Every day he's holding classes, people are coming. So there's one Mrs. Nagarajan, Mr. Nagarajan. Bhaktivedanta Swami's apartment shared a roof in veranda with Mr. Nagarajan, a Skindia office worker, and his wife, Mrs. Nagarajan. Every time when I passed that way, he used to be writing or chanting. I would ask him, Swamiji, what are you writing? He used to sit near the window and one after another was translating the Sanskrit. He gave me 2 books and said, Child, if you read this book, you will understand. We would have discourses in the house, and 4 or 5 Gujarati ladies used to come. At one of these discourses, he told one lady that those who wear their hair parted on the side, that is not a good idea. Right? You have this part, right? Parting. It should be in the center. If it is to the side, it's not good. We think sometimes it's fashion, isn't it? We take part on the side. That's not good. It's giving a message. If you have part in the center, that means you're a chaste lady. If you have it on the side, that means you're a prostitute. And widows, they don't have any part. They just cover their, just go with that. It's a message to the people. But we don't even know that. And many times, we just do like that. We shouldn't do. Srila Prabhupada is telling the ladies there in Bombay. So, child, now, at one of these discourses, he told one lady that those who wear their hair parted on the side, that is not a good idea. Every Indian lady should have her hair parted in the center. They were very fond of listening and very keen to hear his discourse. Every day he would go out trying to get his visa and P form as quickly as possible, selling his books and seeking contacts and supporters for his future Srimad Bhagavatam publishing. Mr. Nagarajan tried to help. Using the telephone directory, he made a list of wealthy business and professional men who were Vaishnavas and might be inclined to assist. Bhaktivedanta Swami's neighbors at Skindia colony observed him coming home dead tired in the evening. He would sit quietly, perhaps feeling morose, some neighbors thought, but after a while he would sit up, rejuvenated, and start writing. Mrs. Nagarajan. When he came home, we used to give him courage and we used to tell him, Swamiji, one day you will achieve your target. He would say, time is still not right. Time is still not right. They are all agyanis. They don't understand. But still, I must carry on. I will stop there. Thank you all so much, dear devotees. Have a wonderful day in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. I'll see you in the evening.
Thank you, Mataji. Mataji, well, for us, when we face even little bit setback, at least for me, I'm saying, I feel so depressed that it's very difficult to recover. And for him, like even depression cannot stick to him.
Yes, yes. Yeah, that's the quality of a great devotee.
Yeah, no, this is the example of non-duality. That duality is not there.
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, everything is welcome in Krishna's service. So, yeah, Madhavendra Puri, he saw Krishna and he saw Krishna in person, but he didn't recognize. And he was so morose, so morose. I saw Krishna, but I didn't recognize my Krishna. He couldn't sleep. He was feeling so bad. But then he remembered, oh, I have service. Krishna told me to go on top of Govardhan and rescue him, the deity, Gopal. So he just brushed away his moroseness and then got to work like that.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, everyone.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji.